Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. It is February, which means Valentine's Day is coming up, so you need to change up the mood a little bit in here, get it more Valentine's Day like. And I want to make something that is a little bit more like R&B, a little bit more romantic sounding, I guess. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I grabbed this MIDI. I'm gonna go ahead and break down why this MIDI makes sense, but first, let me make some adjustments. Right now, all the velocities are the same. I just want to strum it out, get it a little bit more humanized. I want to add a little like flair, a little accent in here. So what we can do is we can take and copy this chord right here, pitch it up a couple octaves, move it over, shorten it a little bit. Yeah, I like that one. Let's go ahead and do something similar over here with this chord. Actually, maybe we can make it take some steps down instead of doing the same exact thing that the chord on the first part did. Yeah, I like that. Maybe we can move that first little accent on over too. I feel like that happens a little too early. I usually add some OTT on this lab soft piano just to get it to stand out a little bit more. And let's cut out some of those lows. Let's see if we can find a pad inside of Analog Labs too. You can see the ghost notes are our original MIDI that we had. And over here, I have the pad chords. If you move the first chord on over here, you'll see it lines up with everything except this note. The reason why these little half steps make sense is it creates more tension. So that's why there's that extra note in there. You may say, why is the F up here? That's because that is our root note for that chord. So that's just pitched down an octave. But if we pitch it back up, this is our chord. We start on F, skip a note, place, skip a note, place, skip a note, place. 2 spaces here, 3 spaces here. That means that this is our F minor chord. It's not a triad because we added that extra one. That's our F minor 7th chord. If you want to check, you can go to stamps here, minor 7th. Boom, lines right up with it. Then we'll move the next chord on over. We go up 1 step in the scale and we have the root note of G, which is pulled down here. Just pulled it back up to make this chord. As you can see, it's just taking steps down. And then there's some passing notes in here. But that is our second chord right there. Boom. Moving our third chord over. So as you can see, it's almost exactly the same as our first chord if we move these notes over. But our root note this time is that G sharp. Same thing, skip a note, place, skip a note, place, skip a note, place. This time though, we have 3 spaces here and 2 spaces here. So this is our G sharp major 7th. If you want to check, you can always go up here. G sharp major 7th matches up. And then for the last chord in this half, we have our root note, which is G, skip a note, place, A sharp, skip a note, place, D, skip a note, place, F. And if you guessed already, we have 2 spaces, 3 spaces. So this is our G minor 7th chord with some passing notes. Obviously there's a passing note right there. We went up to G, move this on over, A sharp's right there, and we pitched the G down. So that's why that makes sense. I've said it before in a previous video, but the chord is your map to making the melody. The chords themselves, if you play them straight, they just look like this. But in order to make a melody, all you have to do is chop it up, maybe add a passing note in the scale, move it around so that it plays a little different rhythmically. But the chord is your map to your melody. Let's try and find a vocal to put in here. I'm gonna go on a splice.
C'est toi, toi, dont je me souviendrai.
Ooh.
Toi qui pourras, à tout jamais, atteindre mon cœur.
We might have to use that French vocal, maybe like in the intro, but that's not what I want right now. Let's find something else. Let's just go ahead and EQ this vocal a little bit, cut out some lows, cut out some highs. All right, I found a couple of like ambient background percussion. I also want to use this erosion perk and just have a steady like knocking sound going out like throughout the entire track. All right, let's go ahead and add a bass in here. I'm just going to follow the root notes, keep it simple. All right, I want to add a lead in here as well. Also something a little bit simple and tucked in the background. Nothing that's going to stand out too much. All right, let's throw some drums in here. I'm gonna start off with a rim shot. All right, let's add a kick. I want to add another vocal in here, maybe just a one shot to like fit in the background somewhere. right, I want to have like another section with like a completely different set of drums. I could go ahead and program a whole new set of drums, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to throw a drum loop in here that I think fits the vibe the best. All right, let's just go ahead and get an 808 in here to match that drum loop. Go ahead and find that French phrase on Splice again, and I'll let you guys listen to the final beat. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
C'est toi, toi, dont je me souviendrai. Toi qui pourras à tout jamais,